Do you have any tips for a person who is diagnosed with a serious illness?
So it's really important during that time to give yourself a little grace and remember to reach out to the people that you can rely on for support. It's also important because when people are sick, we always worry about, what's the future? What's going to happen to me? How is my family going to be if I'm not here or something devastating happens to me? So it's important to try to bring yourself back to the present and really stay focused on the present day and take one day at a time and focus on making the quality of that day the best it can be. So if it's a day where you have some kind of treatment that's very unpleasant, the most important thing might be that you take your favorite blanket with you, or that you take your good friend or a book you like. It can be that simple, and it can really make your day, despite what you're going through, be a little bit better. And also focusing on the things that you can control, because when you're sick, there's so many things that are out of your control. So really, if it is something that you can influence in some way, definitely do that in a way that feels good to you. Even with talking with your doctor and coming up with your treatment plan, there's often different options that might be available to you that you might not know about unless you ask.
Yeah. As a family member, what should I say and not say? And what should my expectations be? I'm thinking the person has a right to not be happy, at least all the time.
Yeah. There are very few wrong things that you can do. I think that when people are going through something difficult, our natural response is to try to cheer them up and say, like, it's going to be great. It's going to be fine. Be strong. And while there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, I think sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on the person who's sick to put on a happy face. The most important thing when someone's going through that is to really meet them wherever they are and allow them to feel whatever they're feeling. So if it's not a great day, allowing them to just express that and just be there to listen. We forget how important and powerful it is to just be present with someone and listen to them. You don't necessarily need to give them an advice. And most of the time, people actually don't want advice. They just want to know that there's someone there. So just being there for them, allowing them to feel whatever they're feeling, and then just, being honest if you're feeling unsure of what to say or do, but reinforcing how much you care about them and that you're there for them.
That's great. All right, let's talk about everyone. Are you finding people are having a really hard time right now?
Yes, I think, for a variety of reasons, but we have all collectively gone through the trauma of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are still reeling from that in many different ways. So there are a few really basic things that we can do to help us when we're going through a hard time. I like to tell my patients, go back to basics, because we feel like we have to have all the answers and do fancy things, but you really don't. The basics are things like make sure you get good sleep, make sure you're eating reasonably healthy, move your body sometimes. It doesn't have to be ridiculous amounts of exercise, but move your body, get outside, take a couple breaths of fresh air. It's also important that you follow up with your health appointments with your physicians for any medical conditions you have, take your medications, reach out to people. We tend to, when we're not doing well, we tend to isolate, and isolating ourselves it actually reinforces sort of negative thinking patterns. So connect with your people, whoever they are. And then the other thing is really try to focus on what's going on right now here in the moment, because when we get worried and upset, it tends to be because we're thinking about something that's happening in the future or something that happened in the past. So if you really focus yourself on the present, it can really help decrease your stress.
That is great advice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.